Good afternoon, this is Robin Bieber on the European Midday Roundup and Good Morning America Chart Talk on the 28th of May at 12:05 in the morning London time. The chart in front of us is August 60-minute and you can see the recovery, the dip and then a couple of attempts to recover, and we're in recovery mode now. The 60-minute stochastic flagged the recovery about 3 or 4 hours ago, and this is duly taking place right now. This is after the highlight of the morning, which was the follow through down to the 13-day moving averages on Brent, Heat, RBOB, which had hit its 13-day last night, and gas oil. So we've completed a minor price cycle. And if we look at RBOB, you can see also it's a bit of a mirror image of Brent. Here's this sort of source of bottom and the stochastic flagging upside, and there seems to be further upside still to come on both RBOB and Brent, and therefore probably on the complex. Now, if we look at how the contracts have performed this morning, look at WTI. Failing at the 5 and 8, it just held the 8 last night, but below this morning, and it looks like after a recovery this morning, it should make its way to the 13-day moving average at 30.65. It's got a negative stochastic. However, it may not quite get there because the rest have held their 13s almost to the cent and bounced. Look at Brent. It made a low at 34.35. The 13-day moving average is around 34.38. That's a perfect slingshot move from the 5 and 8 to the 13 and held. No more targets lower until it moves and closes below the 13-day, and it's probably the main reason why we're rallying a bit this morning, and it might keep WTI away from its 13-day moving average. Heating oil made a low today at 97.24. The 13-day moving average is 97.73, so it breached it a bit. This is July heating oil, by the way, and it was August Brent we were looking at before. Held the 13-day, no further downside unless the 13-day is taken out. It's got a negative stochastic, so I expect we'll see a bit more of a rally in the next 2 or 3 hours and then wait and see for the next set of stats. But there's no upside whilst below the 5 and 8-day moving average. Now, RBOB gave the early warning signals, bearishly diverging stochastic, failure at the CP 2 days ago, failure at the 5 and 8s, straight down to the 13-day yesterday, and so far it's just above the 13-day, about 100.20. So long as that holds, downside is on hold. But if RBOB slides below the 13-day this afternoon, it will be an early warning signal for the rest to both retest their 13s and put the support under pressure. And if RBOB's below, it's probably an early warning signal for what's in store for the rest of the market in the next day or two. And if we just look at gas oil, down to its 13-day, breached it a bit and is above. So every contract, bar WTI, has completed the price cycle from the 5 and 8 to the 13s. It's logical that we get a bit of a recovery for the next 2 or 3 hours and then wait and see. Only moves and closes back above the 5 and 8s would put downside on hold, but real downside is only green lighted if we're below the 13-day moving averages, and watch RBOB at about 100.20, because if it's below there, that will be an early warning signal of what's in store for the rest. And if we just have a quick look at structure, look at TI at the front, negative stochastics, but holding the 8-day moving average. So it's clinging on, even though it's beginning to look a little bit toppy. We need moves and closes below the 8-day moving average, which on July Aug is at -46 and Aug Sep at -49. And if we look at Brent structure, at the front, it's held its 13-day on Aug Sep at -52. It must continue to do that. 1 cent below is no big deal, but it must stay above 52 or we're going south. And on the SEPOC, it's holding -55 at the moment. It's printing that level through there and we're going south. And if we just look at some structure, deck red deck here, below the 13-day, trying to recover a bit, just like the flat price, but looks like it's heading for the 21-day, which is coming in this afternoon, or today rather, at -382. So we could easily get down there, and move and close below -382 would be bad news and negative. And the deck red deck on Brent, struggling, but has held the 34-day at -445. No target south whilst whilst it holds -445, and we could easily recover a bit in all structure for the early part of this afternoon or the New York morning. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.